Hello chums, and welcome to Setups for Simpletons. I've created an entire series dedicated to explaining Gran Turismo 7's quirky and sometimes unforgiving tuning system, but sometimes it's nice to just copy someone else's homework and be done with it. So in this series I will take one car at a time, show a complete setup, and a lap of the Nürburgring for good measure. Disclaimer, if you use my setups it does not mean you're a simpleton. Let's begin! Recently, I uploaded a setup for the Ford Sierra Cosworth with the Ford Focus Gr.B engine swap, and now I'm doing a setup for the Ford Escort Cosworth with the Ford Focus Gr.B engine swap. It's basically the same thing, except this car has four-wheel drive. So, let's see how much difference that makes. For the visuals, the car has the wide body fitted, along with aftermarket wheels a few sizes bigger than standard. Increasing the size can slightly improve agility, potentially at the expense of overall stability. There's a front splitter for front downforce, a rear diffuser for front and rear downforce, and a rear wing to keep it all stable. The Type A rally wing is necessary as the original whale tail does not add any downforce. This is a fully upgraded setup, so the car has every upgrade available, including racing soft tyres, power upgrades, weight reduction, and the body rigidity increase. The Ford Harlot RS Cosworth makes do with a fairly generic four-wheel drive setup. Natural frequency is higher at the rear for stability when braking, as well as less understeer when accelerating. Camber is lower at the rear for the same reason. The LSD utilises fairly low values all round for extra agility, and because the car is fairly stable, it can handle the downforce being maxed front and rear. The engine-swapped Ford Hooker RS is a track weapon despite appearances. For whatever reason, this car is much more agile than the majority of other all-wheel drive cars, while retaining the inherent stability and high grip levels. This car corners in the way you would expect of some ultra-lightweight track special that looks like a bathtub with some wheels bolted on. Beyond that, it's much like the Focus rally car the engine is stolen from. It's fast, it has lots of traction, and it sounds unforgivably shit. There were cars in Gran Turismo 2 that were nicer to listen to than this. Still, it doesn't change the fact that there are very few cars below 800 horsepower that will keep up with this. Genuinely, I cannot think of anything off the top of my head that's even close to the Ford at this power level. Maybe the Ferrari 812 if the power were limited. At this point, I suppose it goes without saying that this is well worth a try. The Ford Trollop RS managed a 6 minutes 7 seconds. That's faster than the V8 swapped Toyota Celica, the Demon Yaris, the R35 Lancia Delta, and the 2014 Impreza with the 911 turbo engine. There is no denying that this is a seriously impressive car. So that was my setup for the engine-swapped Ford Streetwalker Cosworth. I hope it helped. Thank you very much for watching. Please do like, subscribe and kick me in the bell so that you get notified of my future uploads. Do take care of yourself, and ta-ra.